Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the first All49ers Roundtable in a minute. I'm Grant Cohn. To the side of me is Ben Meyerson. Beneath him is Maverick Pallack, and to the side of him is our newest writer, Kev Mitchell. Everyone say hello to Kev. He's written for Niners Nation before. He's been around. You should know Kev, but if you don't, follow him on Twitter, follow him on YouTube, all that. But we don't have much. We got an hour. We got like 9 topics to get through, so we're not going to mess around. The report. Ian Rappaport went on KBR this morning. He says, as far as he hears, Trey Lance is good to go. Trey Lance threw today. He didn't seem limited. They listed him as limited. They can list him whatever they want. Do you think he will play week 1? Kev, why don't you start us off?
I think he'll play week 1 if Jim struggles. Or either Jim struggles or he's not dominating the way he should dominate the Lions.
Okay.
I mean,
that's simple. You don't think he'll get in unless Jimmy. You think if Jimmy plays well, they'll just stick with one quarterback?
I mean, only because he's fresh back off the injury. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it'd be kind of like a rushing back situation. So unless he's actually struggling or he's not dominating, I say he probably won't play. And I'm fine with that. You know.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think, Maverick?
I think the Lions aren't the best team in the NFL, and I think the 49ers are going to run the ball a lot. And in that case, I think that leads to maybe some fourth quarter snaps for Trey Lance. He might get a couple in the first half if Shanahan wants to throw that dual quarterback system on everyone's radar and show people that he's for real about that, if he is. But I think if Lance gets more than 3 snaps, it's in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same page with Maverick for this one. I think, if anything, he's going to play once it's a complete blowout, once it's very obvious the 49ers are going to win. But the way I do see them using Trey during the first part of the game is that I think he's actually going to be used in a lot of running packages, a lot of red zone packages early on. They're going to get him involved any way they can, even if it's little touch passes, just anything they can do to create some disruption in the red zone. So I see him getting about 10 to 15 snaps if that's how everything plays out. But also, like Maverick said, I think there's a really good chance that the 49ers are blowing out the Lions, and they'll give Lance a good opportunity to get some NFL experience.
I think he's going to play a lot, even if he doesn't start. Now, most of my predictions have been way off this offseason. I owe a lot of people nice bottles of wine. So take my predictions with a grain of salt here. I think he's going to play a lot. I'm trying to read Kyle Shanahan's mind right here. And it seems to me that he really wants to do this 2 quarterback thing. Because if it works, he's a freaking genius. He's the head coach. He's the coach of the year. No one's really ever pulled this off. Jimmy's buying in. Trey's buying in. He's unsatisfied with Jimmy. That's why Trey's here. And he clearly doesn't think Trey's ready. So I think he's really into the idea of this 2 quarterback thing. It's a way for him to be the star, and it might just be the best way to go about winning games this year. So Trey can come in and hand off just like Jimmy can. And I think that the game plan for the Niners this year should be to hit 40 runs every time if they can. Just do what you did to the Packers every time. That should be your first inclination. So I think he's going to play a lot. Now, I don't know if he's going to throw much, but he's going to hand off a lot, and I think he's going to run too. Yeah,
it's that Shanahan's grand scheme.
Right.
Honestly, they can just have they could just have drives where there's nothing but handoffs, but you just alternate who's handing it off, and it's just like window dressing, Oh my God, there's another quarterback in handoff. Oh, when Jimmy's coming back in handoff.
You fill up 80% of someone's salary cap by making him have to sign 2 quarterbacks to $20 million deals 5 years from now. That's his big plan.
Absolutely, yeah. That's 40 chess right there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going. There's more news. Kyle Shanahan won't name a starter. I don't know. He's trying to troll people, or he's just I don't know where he's coming from. But Jimmy came out. He's like, "Yeah, I'm starting. It's me.
I've
known it all along." So, my question is, why are the 49ers starting Jimmy Garoppolo? Ben.
I think the 49ers are starting Jimmy Garoppolo because Trey Lance hasn't proven enough in games that he's experienced enough to start over Jimmy Garoppolo. I think, the issue with Trey has always not been that it's about Jimmy Garoppolo or can he beat Jimmy Garoppolo. It's about more when Trey's ready, and it seems like the 49ers feel like Trey's quite not ready yet. And I think the funny thing too is that Jimmy's playing so poor during training camp, during the preseason. He's narrowing the gap even more than it should be. So I think the 49ers are starting Jimmy because they're comfortable with him and because they know what they're going to be getting out of him to a certain extent. And with Trey, that's a guy you want to protect above all else. And I think if anything, the 49ers see this as them protecting Trey Lance, them slow playing him so that they don't want to get him too. They don't want to put him in a bad situation in game one.
Fail right off the bat
of that season. Yeah, especially with the team that has such high Super Bowl expectations. This year, you look at the Vegas odds, the 49ers are 6th in Las Vegas in terms of Super Bowl odds. So this is a team that internally and externally has big expectations. So to just throw the rookie out to the Wolves is very risky. That's why I think they're starting Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's a good answer.
I've said from at least the schedule revealed that I think first game after the bye week is when Trey's first start will happen against Carson Wentz, which Sunday Night Football will love that. But I think for now, Jimmy Garoppolo gives the 49ers the best chance to win this game. And I think that's kind of how you have to take the approach is this week, who gives us the best chance to win. And as Ben was saying, the 49ers at least perceive Trey Lance to not be as ready as Jimmy Garoppolo is at this moment. And for that reason alone, I think that's why Garoppolo's the starter.
Okay. Kev.
Kind of a two-pronged answer here. I agree with both the other guys. I mean, it is protecting Trey, but my thing is it's the Lions, and so no need to kind of just throw Trey out there right now. If you ask me, I said this on our show last night, I believe it's more so it's not a coming out party for Trey. It's a coming out party for Jimmy. I'm going to tell you why. Teams are going to stack the box against Jimmy Garoppolo regardless. 8, 9 in the box. We're going to make you pass the ball. We're going to make Jimmy beat us. So my thing is, this is his time to say, look, I can put a team on my back, and pass the ball and be effective. The moment he becomes ineffective, so this is more of a reason
I hope
why
they don't
we
put
should
the game
start
in his hands
Trey.
against the Lions. I'm sorry. I hope.
Hey, no. I mean, hey, I'm with you. I mean, but think about it, Grant. If he goes out there and kind of performs, okay, great. He held his own. But the moment he had to burn the timeout, or the moment he misses the read, hey, get 5 in here.
That's
so
true.
This is more a break than Trey and giving Jimmy a chance, at least a chance, to say, hey, look, this is why I'm still here. That's just me, though.
Okay. You guys get great answers. Let me go conspiracy theory here. 2 conspiracy theories. 1, they traded up for this pick before free agency, correct? Okay. Yes. So they traded up for this pick. And I think going into free agency, a lot of us expected that maybe they were going to lose a lot of their vets. But they didn't. I was surprised. They signed almost all their vets and brought back this team that has a very specific mentality. They feel they should be champions. They feel that they should be freaking champions, and they're out to prove it, and Jimmy's part of that. Jimmy's their guy. They love Jimmy. And I think what happened was the locker room is Team Jimmy, at least for now. They're like, we've been a championship team. We got injuries last year. Don't give up on us. So that's part of it. The other thing is I think that Kyle wanted Mac, and he was talked into Trey. He likes Trey, but I think from the beginning his attitude was, okay, we'll go with Trey, but Trey's not ready, period. Mac would have been ready. Trey's not ready. Trey can be great, but you got to trust the process on this one. I think that's been his attitude. So that's why he said no quarterback competition. If Mac had been the pick there, I think there would have been a quarterback competition. But Trey, I think he was pretty much, I think Kyle had his mind made up as soon as they picked him. And I think it was kind of obvious in retrospect. Those are my 2 things.
So on your first conspiracy theory, you're saying that, let's say they didn't re-sign Trent Williams and Tart and all the veterans they brought back.
Yeah.
You think it would have been Jimmy traded?
Easier to just make the transition. I think they made the trade up thinking that they were going to have a transition year. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, we have all of our vets back. Maybe we should give it one more run. And they like Jimmy. They know Jimmy. Really, they're Jimmy's age. Anyway, Kev, did you have a follow-up?
Yeah, I did. And I really hate to be the dead horse here, man. But I keep hearing this phrase, this term, this quote, Trey isn't ready, right? And so are we saying Trey isn't ready based upon the fact that he's making the same mistakes as a rookie that Jimmy still makes as a vet? Because
I think
that's what I'm
Trey's
saying.
ready. I just think it's clear that Kyle doesn't think he's ready. And I don't know I think he just made his mind made up pretty much since the draft.
But like I said, It's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Roll Jimmy out there once you start throwing pick sixes and
I'm with you on
not
that.
saying linebackers,
I'm
then
with you on that.
it'd be
And the last thing I want to
Trey.
say real quick is if, there really hasn't been a quarterback competition yet. It hasn't been even ground. Trey Lance put up good numbers in camp, but it was against the second team. And then it wasn't the same kind of split time in preseason. Now it's going to be split. And it's going to be them playing with the same people against the same opponent. If Jimmy outplays Trey, that's legit. If Trey outplays Jimmy, that's the competition. So I guess it'll be fun to watch, assuming that Trey plays. All right, let's answer some questions real quick. Should the Niners pull Jimmy if he fails week 1? If he fails second quarter, they're not going to mess around here. They're going to give both guys a chance, right?
If the Lions defense,
if he has to burn a timeout for whatever reason.
The first mistake, right?
Yes.
The first mistake. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Real short leash. Chris says, also, if the dual quarterback packages work, it'll undoubtedly boost Jimmy's production, thus boosting possibility of his trade value by trade deadline. Thoughts? That's a good point. The fact that defenses will have to divert their attention all week and prepare for 2 offenses, 2 quarterbacks will help both of them. For sure.
I agree.
For sure. Because honestly, if you can focus on Jimmy all week, you can kind of, his weaknesses. You can. I'm just saying, this should definitely help him. McCarver Jr. says, "Do you guys think Jimmy would play more aggressive, knowing he has a position that can be lost to Lance?" I've been thinking about that. Do you think they're going to call more downfield throws for Jimmy, or is that what they're going to bring in Lance to do?
He can try to play more aggressive. We've seen the best of Jimmy already. Grant, listen.
That's the thing.
You coined it. Good Jimmy versus bad Jimmy. Is that dichotomy? You know what I'm saying? So we know what Jimmy is. We know who Jimmy is. He gonna be who he is quite often. So
most of the time, yeah. Can't catch him. Likes your picture, Ben.
Oh yeah, got the Joe Montana.
It's very nice. Hold on, one more, and then we'll move on. Jamal, thank you, Jamal. Says having all of your vets back is a deliberate move, though, not an accident. So it seems they wanted Jimmy to start until Trey is ready. All I'm saying is it's not an accident, but I thought it was a surprise that there was no market for Jason Verrett. Who else signed that? It was like
K'Wan Williams.
K'Wan Williams. A lot of people thought Saleh was going to poach these guys. He didn't.
Yeah.
He went young. Last one, Matt says, Grant, real talk. If Jimmy Garoppolo throws 3 TDs and no picks, is your narrative going to be, well, Detroit is awful? Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I guess. I'd be really surprised. I'll give him credit because he's been pretty mediocre, in my opinion, all in camp and in preseason. So if he can do that, that'd be pretty cool. I think they're tempting fate if they put the game in his hands, but I'll have to give him credit. Man, they keep coming. Rondo says, you once said the Niners feel like a white team. Ooh, that was years ago. Are you a white YouTube channel because this is the first black guest in like a month? Damn, that was really harsh. Ooh. Damn.
I'm the token black guy, huh? Okay, all right. Well,
Damn. I don't know, man. You tell me.
Well, you picked the great
Rando.
one then.
What?
You picked the great one then.
Yeah, all right. Okay, wow. That really kind of changed the tone of the show. All right, let's get back on track.
Yeah, right on.
That was intense. Okay. Players to watch on offense week 1. Why don't we all name one player that you're intrigued to watch, and we'll do our best not to duplicate. Kev, you start.
I figured you're going to do that. Actually, okay, you know what? I'm going to say Trent Sherfield.
Okay.
Sherfield is, man, I don't know what happened to Arizona, but I'm glad it did. Because, was he the only receiver not to drop a pass preseason?
Seemed like it.
Yeah, and contested catches, too.
Yes.
Good speed, good routes. Yeah, Trey Sherfield. I'm looking at him to have a real big game. Actually, real big season. So Trent Sherfield for me.
I like that. Mav.
I think that one player that's going to be, I know picking the number 1 receiver is bad, but I have to move on from Sherfield. That's where I was going to go. Brandon Ayuk, because I think Jeff Okudah, it's going to be a battle of 2020 first-round picks. He got burned a lot last year. And then whoever they put in the slot, whether it's Sherfield or Ayuk or Debo or Kittle or whatever, A.J. Parker's a rookie nickel corner for the Lions. I think there's a lot of chances. Going back on your Jimmy throwing deep thing, I think Kyle's kind of tired of everyone saying Jimmy can't throw deep. And I could see him try to do that revenge thing he always likes to do, prove the media wrong, and key up a couple Garoppolo deep throws if he makes them.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been talking about the 49ers, throwing the ball, but they're going to run the damn ball in this game. And I want to see Trey Sermon running the ball in this game, specifically because we've talked about this idea of them keeping carries away from Raheem Mostert, trying to give them to some other players so that they don't wear them out by the end of the season. And Trey Sermon's going to be their number 2 running back with Jeff Wilson out probably until November. So yeah, I'm really excited to see Trey Sermon. I want to see if he looks better than he did in the preseason. He kind of struggled a little bit. And I want to see if he was worth that 3rd round pick that the 49ers spent on him.
I like that. I going to go to an oldie but a goodie, Mike Mcglinchey. I want to see Mike because he can be an asset. If they have the right game plan and they run the ball, he can definitely be a reason they win this game. But if they fall behind or they want to come out throwing because they want to prove a point or whatever, he could be a reason they lose this game. I mean, a lot of people focus on Jimmy, but it's the whole passing game that's not the strength of the offense, and Mike Mcglinchey is a big reason why. He can't really function on an island. He's a real classic old school right tackle who needs help in pass protection. So I want to see, is he going to ruin this game for them, or is he going to be a reason they win it? Yeah, Mike. I want to see Mike because I haven't forgotten about you, Mike. I mean, you gained 30 pounds, your head's on straight, but that's not good enough, man. They need you to play really well, like Tristan Wirfs well. So let's see what you got, Mike. Also, he's going up against Romeo Okwara, who had 10 sacks last year on 3rd downs. So it's not going to be a walk in the park, man. I mean, this guy can get you, and Kyle's going to need to help him. He's going to need to keep, Dwelly in the backfield. Probably not. I mean,
protection.
Yeah, something. Jay says, "Hey Grant, long time. I think if the good Jimmy that won the game against the Saints shows up early in the season, we see Trey only in packages." Yeah, that was the best Jimmy, right? The Saints game. Well, and the Arizona games too.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't know how many other times we've seen that Jimmy.
Jacksonville Jimmy.
Good call. Good call. Actually, 2017 Jimmy was the best Jimmy because he had a little improvisational flair to it. He could get outside the pocket. In Jacksonville, he made that throw rolling left. Also, he made that touchdown throw against Seattle in 2017 rolling left. Yeah, he used to have it before he tore his ACL.
Oldie but the goodies.
I don't know if I can give that to Jimmy like that because you ask me, I'm not going to pat a fish on the back for swimming because that's what fish do. They swim. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to give him credit for that.
He did his job that game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so I really can't say, but I get it. Okay, moving right along.
All right, let's do the players to watch on defense. Who are you most intrigued to watch on the Niners defense in this game?
So I'm really intrigued to see how D Ford's looking. He's been kind of the talk of this offseason for the 49ers. Right before training camp, D Ford seemed like he wasn't even going to make the Niners roster. It seems like he might have been looking into retirement. And this is going to be a good matchup to test him against for this first game. Taylor Decker, who's been a really excellent left tackle. And then Penei Sewell, who it seems like the 49ers are going to be targeting this game because he's really struggled all preseason. So I want to see where D Ford is at this point, see if he is the guy that everyone's been talking about during all of training camp. So yeah, we haven't seen him since, really 2020, 2019. Is D Ford alive? I hope so. I think he is.
My player to watch on defense is Dre Greenlaw because I think the Lions passing offense goes through TJ Hawkinson, their tight end, and they use their running backs in the passing game a lot. DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams coming over from Green Bay. Also, Anthony Lynn, the offensive coordinator, his last time as an offensive coordinator, Buffalo in 2016, second most rush attempts in the NFL, first in rushing yards in the NFL that season. So Dre Greenlaw is going to have to make a lot of tackles, I think, if the running backs get to the second level, which seems like it might be a possibility with a depleted defensive tackle unit, and Frank Ragnow open up those holes. So they need Greenlaw to make some tackles.
I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I know we're looking for the Bosas and for the D Fords. I'm all for edge rushers. But I'm going to say a guy like Zach Kerr, and I'm going to tell you why. Unfortunately, speed rushers off the edge have a tendency to overrun the play. And that lowercase C gap turns to an uppercase C gap. So therefore, with the edge pressure going to be there, I want to see what Zach Kerr can do from the middle. The boy can rush the passer from the middle. So I want to see that. And like I said in my first article with that side, I think the interior D line is the meat of this actual pass rush. You see what I'm saying? So of course, Arden Key and Sosa and all that. But I want to see Zach Kerr cause having in the middle, along with the other guys, the DJ Jones. But I'm gonna say Zach Kerr.
That was interesting. When I was watching camp, I was really impressed with Kentavious Street the most. I was like, man, this guy. But
Okay, yeah,
preseason, Kerr is the one that I thought made the most of an impact. It just shows you how different practice and games are. That's a good answer. I'm going to say Josh Norman. I'm not certain that Emmanuel Moses is going to play in this game. I don't know. He's got a knee injury. He had a hamstring injury. He's looking like things are adding up on him, and he may not ever be 100% healthy this year. And I think, like, if they wanted Josh Norman, they could have had him at any point. This feels a little bit like an emergency signing. And he's experienced. He's had success. He even played well last year. It seems, though, that the Lions are probably going to do everything they can to target him. And D'Amico Ryans is going to do everything he can to protect him. So that'll be very interesting. Seems like a lot of the game is going to come down to him.
Quick question. So you think they throw Josh in there so quick before they throw Lenore in there?
It's an interesting question. I mean, do you trust the vet who hasn't been here or the rookie? Week 1?
I mean, he wasn't terrible at all in preseason.
No, he absolutely was not terrible.
I mean, as long as he gets his head around, he'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, let me put it this way. Whoever is starting opposite of Jason Verrett is the man I'm watching. And I don't think it's going to be Mosley. It could be. If it's Lenore, great. I'm with that. But if it's not, I understand. I mean, he's a rookie, and maybe they don't trust him yet because playing well in the preseason doesn't necessarily carry over. Although these Lions wide receivers are just awful, other than Tyrell Williams. So they should be okay. Those are some defensive players to check out. Obviously,
let's not have a trap game the first game of the season. How about that?
I know, right? Because look, the Lions are awful, but 10 o'clock game on the road, new coaching staff. It's hard to prepare for. That's all the things I can think of.
We should blow them out.
Yeah, it should be easy.
With Jimmy.
It should be over by halftime, pretty much.
Right.
Niner Rain says, rewatch that Saints game. Kayla had to pull a Franco Harris on that 4th down pass. Jimmy almost skipped the ball in a crucial situation, just saying, hey, man, I appreciate you, dude, but let's not go back and argue about 2019, man. I mean, we've been doing that forever. Let's just move on. The Niners need to move on. We need to move on. 2019 it was pre-pandemic. That's how I think of it. All right. Sticking with
it was in a pre-Grant YouTube world.
Try to imagine that.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the biggest matchup advantage for the 49ers in this game? Whoever has one can go first. There's no particular order here.
You know what? Well, I'll go. And again, it's going to be kind of a blanket answer.
Offense or defense? Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say in the trenches, our O-line versus their D-line.
Okay.
You know, they got to show up. You know, they got to execute. You know, so as long as our O-line do their job, I don't care if one of y'all was back there in the backfield. You know, we should win by a long shot. As long as O-line do their job.
Okay, I'm with that.
I think an advantage is on the edge in running plays on offense. Trey Flowers kind of having to play a new role in this defense off the edge for the Lions. And I think Trent Williams and George Kittle are going to have a good day blocking. And I don't know if Trey Flowers is also fast enough to keep up with Mostert on tosses, Deebo Samuel on those shovel passes. I think that's a guaranteed 8 yards every time if they just do tosses off the side Trey Flowers is on.
Ooh, I like that.
I think the biggest matchup advantage for the 49ers is going to be their wide receivers versus Detroit's corners. I mean, Mav mentioned it earlier, but the 2 starting corners for the Lions are Jeff Okudah, and a guy whose name I don't even want to try and pronounce, but he's a 5th-round pick from 2019. I looked it up. I looked up the pronunciation. I was going to try, but I'm not going to give.
But you never heard of him.
But I've never heard him. He's a 5th-round pick from 2019. He had a less than 50 coverage grade with PFF last season when he was starting, and Jeff Okudah got a 30 coverage grade last season when he was starting. So I think, it's one of the biggest weaknesses of the Lions. And their 3rd corner is actually a 3rd-round pick from this year. So it's the most inexperienced group by far for Detroit. There was a reason they were 32nd on defense. They allowed, I believe, 8 100-plus yard receivers. So really tough season for the Lions last season. I don't think it's going to get any better for them at corner.
Okay, I'm going to go with all the 49ers defensive ends against Penei Sewell. Not because Penei Sewell's a bust or that he won't be good. It's just like he's switching from left tackle to right tackle, and that's hard. And he didn't play last year. And he could have a rough game. And he's got Eric Armstead and Samson Ebukam and Dee Ford and Nick Bosa. all of them to prepare for and block at different points. It's going to be rough. I think the Niners definitely got him at the right time. That's a big matchup advantage for the Niners.
Attacking my Ducks.
Sorry, I liked him. I thought the Niners should take him, but I mean, he didn't look great in preseason, I got to say. Chris, going back to our last topic, says Mostert on offense, Hufunga on defense in terms of.
I was going to say Huff.
Yeah, for sure. Mostert, for sure. Yeah. There's one more. Oh, there's two more. Isn't it funny how genuinely happy and peaceful Jimmy is all the time? Constantly being dumped on by the media and does not care. He might be a genius. Dude, I just feel like he doesn't take football that seriously. And maybe that's a good thing.
He doesn't take it personally. I'll say that. He doesn't take anything from his coaches or the media personally. I
mean, he's really handsome. He's not even 30. He's got like $90 million. What's he going to complain about? Why should he complain? I think that's kind of his attitude in life. Like, this is great. I was playing football at Eastern Illinois. Look at me now. This is great. It's way better than I thought I was ever going to do.
And have you ever met someone that's not on Twitter? They're always happy. Like,
that's a good point. That's a good point. Me, on the other hand, in shambles. Chris says Kittle is an advantage every game. Yeah, that's true. Kittle versus whoever the hell they have covering tight ends. Good point. Austin says, with Jimmy confirmed starting, which of our receivers tight ends do you think is due for the biggest game? Kittle. I mean, the tight ends, fullbacks, and running backs, when Jimmy is the quarterback, they're going to get a lot of passes. Okay, moving on. Biggest matchup disadvantage for the 49ers in this game.
Yeah, I think it's actually going to be the interior of that defensive line for the 49ers. They're going to be down Javon Kinlaw this game, and really the biggest strength of that Lions team is that interior defensive line. They have a good tackle, but Frank Ragnow is one of the best centers in the NFL for good reason. So I think they're going to struggle with the injury to Kinlaw. Even though they do have a lot of depth there, it's probably the deepest position on the team. I think this is really going to be the biggest test for this team. You look at the rest of this Lions roster, they've pretty much gotten worse in every single spot. And with their defense, they haven't really added much at all. So I think this is the one group I'm looking at for the Lions that is of strength. So to me, this is the biggest test for them.
Jason Aponte is going to block me on Twitter, but I'm going to say the biggest disadvantage is Jack Fox punting for the Lions, 4th in overall punting yards last year. And who's going to return punts for the 49ers? Do we really know? Is it going to be Mohamed Sanu? And I think the Lions are going to be punting a lot in this game. So it could just be a lot of long fields for Jimmy Garoppolo. He might have to pull off a couple 70-yard drives if they want to score over 28 points. So I'm going to say Jack Fox punting, and go ahead and yell at me.
I like that. All right, what you got, Kev?
Ooh, all right. I'm going to be that guy. Big disadvantage for me. And Grant, you know how I get down. I lie for you before I lie to you, man. The big disadvantage is good Jimmy versus bad Jimmy. I'm sorry to say it but that's exactly what it is. Because only reason we lose the game is bad Jimmy show up and good Jimmy don't. You see what I'm saying? So, and as far as the Lions, it's like a practice squad. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah, like Ben said, the interior D line is decent, but I don't think that a big issue. But the reason we lose the game is turning the ball over for whatever reason, fumbles, strip sacks, interceptions. So, like I said, back to my original point, good Jimmy versus bad Jimmy is the disadvantage.
That's fair. I was gonna go with Jimmy too. I was gonna say Jimmy versus Jamie Collins because Jimmy Garoppolo throws so many interceptions to linebackers, and Jamie Collins is a good player. But that's enough, Jimmy. Chris Royal says coaching disadvantage. We've never seen Shanahan have to coach with missing kneecaps. I do think a disadvantage is that they don't really know what to expect from the Lions. I mean, the Lions aren't good, so it may not matter.
That's a good one, coaching, right?
You don't really know what their offense is. You don't know what their and also you definitely don't know their tendencies. So you don't know what this guy likes to call on 1st and 10 in the red zone, down, up, 2 minute. You don't know. And we've seen really bad coaches win week 1. Tom Sula, Chip Kelly. So I would say the Niners don't have a coaching disadvantage, but there's this mystery that they don't have, that the Lions have. So let's go with that. But Jimmy, don't throw a pick to Jamie Collins, please. That's all I'm saying. You can throw a pick to anyone, just not Jamie Collins.
If he does, I'm blaming you if he does.
Yeah. Okay, is it time to be concerned about Javon Kinlaw? He didn't practice today. He's got a knee injury. He wasn't limited. He did not participate today. He didn't do any one-on-ones in camp. It seemed like they were trying to sort of keep him healthy and manage him through the whole thing. He had surgery this offseason. He had a setback, all on this. I don't know if it's arthritic yet, but tendonitis. A knee with tendonitis is a time to be concerned.
For right now, I'm gonna say no. Unless he misses a string of games, then there's a cause for concern. But if they're trying to protect him, I'm not too concerned. But now if we go into week 2 and week 3, now he's inactive. Now there's some reason to be concerned. But right now, no. That's how I feel. So
I'm not concerned, like Kev said, until he misses a couple games. I think last year just having no preseason was hard on Kinlaw's statistical output. Plus, being really one of 3 guys that you had to block on the defensive line last year was rough as well. So I think if it gets to the point where next year he's still a health problem, then that's where I would start getting concerned. But for the first half of this season, I'm not.
In terms of is it time to be concerned, I don't think the level of concern has changed at all. He's been pretty consistent with how things have been happening for Javon Kinlaw. This injury thing hasn't really gone away. In fact, it kind of seems like he's at where he was at like 3-4 weeks ago, which is that he's not practicing. We don't really know when he's going to return. There's no true timetable for what things are going to look like for Javon Kinlaw. And this is something that was an issue going back to college. So I don't know why it would be time to be concerned. I would just always be concerned.
That's fair. I think I guess it's time to be concerned for me. I say yes, because it's like a pattern. It's not going away. I think it's fair to look at the beginning. Remember, why did the Niners take Javon Kinlaw? He was really good at the Senior Bowl, but then he shut himself down and left early and said, well, I mic drop. I proved what I wanted to prove. I'm the baddest dude here. Or this happened and it got flagged at the combine. The Niners took a chance. It was a mistake. They took a chance on Jalen Hurd. It was a mistake. They've taken these chances on guys with chronic issues and gotten burned. So I guess it was time to be concerned when he left the Senior Bowl early. That was probably, and then when he got flagged at the combine. But now it's like, man, what are the real expectations for this guy? Is it only going to be downhill from here? Have we seen the best of Javon Kinlaw? That's a scary thought. I mean, you don't have to answer that because that's a speculation, but that's where your mind goes. That's where your mind goes. Yeah, hope not.
Yeah,
because he's very gifted.
If he were to miss serious time too, the 49ers have a really deep room, so it's not like it's going to really affect how much this team is going to win this year.
Thank you, Ben.
They don't necessarily need him, but the idea of him reaching his upside would be such a huge bonus.
For sure.
The main reason I'm not concerned, as Ben just alluded to, this interior D line is Givens, Kinlaw, Jones, Kerr. I mean,
yes.
So
yeah. And I think waves. Go ahead.
I was just going to say the more concerning thing is that they spent that high round of a pick on a defensive tackle.
Could have had worse.
You could have had worse. You could have gone after a corner, which looks like you really need one right now.
Yeah, good point. Eddie says, just for fun, if you had to put money on Trey or Jimmy to make a comeback to win the game, who would you choose and why? I don't know. These are like the
Raheem Mostert.
My first cousin is a comic book artist, and when I was like 7 or 8, whenever he would come to visit me, I'd be like, who would win in a fight, Superman or Spider-Man, and why? And I would just be like a series of questions like that, and it's kind of that kind of question. But I'm saying Trey. Say Trey, just because Trey can fly, and he has X-ray vision. So Jimmy he's kind of like Batman. Like, you don't really have any superpowers. You just kind of fall in style.
It's all about Maverick. The money.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get Maverick to.
Oh, he has.
Why am I always labeled? This is just going to get a Twitter hate.
You're not. Of course not. Mark says we got Kinlaw. We could have had CD. That's true. That's true.
That's who I wanted.
It's true. Ahmed Ali says, will the offense look the same with Jimmy as it did in 2019? I feel like teams already know what to expect from the 49ers with Jimmy. Yeah, I feel like there's not that much more the Niners can do than what they've already done with Jimmy. How much more can you do with a guy who has these specific limitations not to pile on? I mean, I'm just saying, I think they've kind of all the different ways that you can get yards after the catch, they've explored.
Well, now they can play him and Trey, so that might be interesting too.
Aha! Taste the soup. Sorry. Todd, NFL said Jimmy just said he's officially. Yeah, Jimmy said it. Kyle hasn't said it though. I wish I could just give myself jobs like that. Yeah, I'm a CEO.
Didn't you give yourself a quality control coach?
It works. You just take the job. Jimmy,
Yeah.
See? Tony says gave up Buckner to get Kinlaw. What a waste of value. That's what makes it hurt the most.
Yeah.
And
it's not even that. I think if you look at the Buckner trade, the trade for the 13th pick doesn't not make sense. What didn't make it sense at all was trying to replace Buckner with Kinlaw. That's
1 for 1. That was but the draft and he improved. Like we're at 13, you're really most likely getting another player like Armstead. But I mean, best case scenario, and that's a different class of player. Okay, Jalen Hurd also has a knee issue. Also didn't practice today. Really hasn't practiced since he played against the Raiders. He's played 2 preseason games. He's back to doing what he does, which is rehabilitate for a living. When asked point blank today about Hurd, Shanahan said, yeah, he might go on IR because you can go for 3 weeks. I'm not going to say is it time to be concerned about Hurd because that's a ridiculous question. I don't know. Just like, what are your thoughts on this happening again, like a third time? Thoughts?
I mean, I'm not really surprised. I don't think anyone's surprised, but what I will say with Jalen Hurd is I think the bigger worry, and I know you covered this, Grant, is did the 49ers waste a roster spot potentially by keep trying to bring Jalen Hurd along? One guy that I'm looking at specifically that now that the 49ers have their starting kick returner as a rookie, what about Nisimba Webster? Yeah. He could have easily been on this roster. We saw the Bears go and pick him up immediately. That's someone who could offer a lot in special teams for the 49ers. And then if you really needed him to play on offense, he could do enough gadget stuff that you could get him enough snaps. But with Jalen Hurd, I'm just more worried about the 49ers roster construction with this kind of thing. It's a wasted 53-man spot potentially. And Jalen Hurd, I mean, what's new? He's always hurt. So,
yeah. Mav.
I just did not think that he would make the team in the first place, so I kind of agree with Ben. So I was shocked by that, but I'm not really disappointed because it's hard to be disappointed when you have very low expectations. But I just kind of feel bad for the guy that he's just kind of in that 49ers lore of guys that were always injured. We have a lot of those guys to talk about from the last 15 years of the guys that, oh, yeah, that guy that never played, that third-round pick that never played. And it seems like Hurd is one of the most mentioned nowadays.
Yeah.
Kev. I've been over here stewing, and I had a conversation earlier today in one of my many chats I'm in. At this point, Jalen Hurd in the regular season is like the Easter Bunny. You know what I'm saying? You hear about him, but you never
just missed him. You just missed him. Yeah.
Right. He has a ton of potential, and I asked this question earlier in one of my chats, like, why is he still on the roster? Not because I don't want him here, but like everybody said the same thing, potential. I mean, you know how much potential people got? You know what I'm saying? So, and the fact his draft position too has a lot to do with it. But if he can't come back from this IR stint, I don't know, man. I mean, trying to get somebody a shot. You know, I love to see him excel, but it's, at this point, he get hurt playing Madden.
Oh,
you know,
that's a good one.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
hey, come on, thumb injuries aren't a thing to joke about. Like,
no. Look, I'm saying if he playing Madden, we playing Madden with Jalen Hurd, and he get hurt on the game. Chances are he's gonna get hurt real life too.
Yeah, I think his injury rating is maxed out in Madden for sure.
You know,
no one should be surprised that this is going on. The Niners,
but I pray he does pad out and stay healthy. I do.
Certainly. I'm surprised that the Niners are surprised. I'm surprised that they gave him another shot. And I guess they kept him because they thought like maybe the Panthers would want him because Matt Rule coached him in college. Like, good, let him be Matt Rule's problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm surprised at that. But here's what really kills me. I feel like the Niners are inconsistent about this. They say he's got potential. He's a third-round pick. Yeah, he's got potential, but he wasn't someone that they're super invested in. He was a third-round pick. Compare that to Dante Pettis. Okay, Dante Pettis, they traded up for in the 4th round. So whatever they thought of Hurd, they gave Pettis a higher grade. And Pettis actually did things in games. Some good things. So people like Dante Pettis after his first year. And then he disappointed. And I'm not saying the Niners, got it wrong with Pettis, but they were very hard on him. And that's the precedent they set. And I think they were right to be hard on him. Jalen Hurd comes along, this 3rd-round pick who's played wide receiver for like 11 games in his life, and they just like can't let it go. Why? It just seems so inconsistent. To me, the answer is that I think it's all about Wes Welker. He wasn't here in 2018 when the Niners had Dante Pettis. He came in 2019. He wanted the Niners to take Deebo Samuel and Jalen Hurd. So Jalen Hurd has advocates in this coaching staff where Dante Pettis all of a sudden didn't. So I'm just saying I think Wes Welker is probably Kyle too, saying, nah, we got to give him another chance. Nah, Wes, no, you were wrong. They were wrong. Time to move on. Wes.
If I start talking about Pettis, it's going to be a whole other conversation.
We need to go to Pettis. Official BNA Music 88 says, what if Campbell has been playing dumb for gamesmanship, similar to Kyle being indecisive with quarterbacks? Kyle overthinks enough to fall for it. Like Campbell's just going to come out week 1 with like the glasses on and just be hella smart, and afterward he'll just be talking in huge words. Maybe that's it. He's just been playing dumb. I think it's possible. CJ
I like Campbell. It might be unpopular opinion, but I think Campbell could. I mean, it's the Lions, so turning around is getting to 9 wins, but I think he could turn around in a year or two.
He's got some interesting coaches on his staff.
You get him some talent. He's a hell of a coach in terms of somebody who wants to play for him. He just needs some talent.
Real quick, he's got Dom Capers. He's got Todd Wash, who was the defensive coordinator for the Jacksonville Jaguars a few years ago when they were good. Who else?
Anthony Lynn, I believe.
Anthony Lynn is their offensive coordinator. It's pretty good.
Aaron Glenn, who was an assistant with the Saints, is their DC.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. All right. CJ Smooth says, Grant, Hurd. Seriously, IR again. Any chance they drop that boo before the season ends? Nah, man, they're going to hang on. Hang on for dear life. I don't know why. Thank you.
Got to keep the faith.
Got to keep the faith. Johnny says, what's your biggest disappointment so far? How about Jalen Hurd? No, we can't be disappointed by Jalen Hurd. No, Kinlaw, man. Kinlaw, I think we all expected that he wasn't great last year, but he wasn't bad. And it's like, no minicamp, no OTAs, the pandemic. It was understandable that he would kind of have a slow start. This is disappointing. This is rough.
Yeah. What about Aaron Banks? That's a huge disappointment.
It's a little early to write him off, but yeah, so far, yeah. But it's a little early. I'm just gonna say
he was healthy
today. Healthy today.
Oh, he was. Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's news.
So let's give him a chance. He's still like 23 and he's from El Cerrito, so I want to give him a chance. Only because he's from El Cerrito. Jalen Hurt doesn't exist. Just like that Sinbad Genie movie, A Mandela Effect. Yeah, Jalen Hurt. And there is a player in the league named Jalen Hurts. It's too bad.
No. He did that on purpose.
He did. Jalen Hurt. Jalen Hurt. That's true. I like that. Sacramento Mike says, I like that. We keep Taylor to cut DJ Reed. Ooh, that's true. We lose Sullivan, Hilliard, and Griffith to keep Bowles and Harris, who aren't nationally linebackers. That's true. We cut our returner Webster for Hurd. We always choose a personal favorite. He's right. He put it really in very black and white terms. I'll read it again since you gave me $10. Keep Taylor to cut DJ Reed. That's true. Sullivan, Hilliard, Griffith, linebackers that look promising to keep the safeties turn linebackers, Fowles and Harris. Cut Webster for Hurd. All caps. Yeah. Nothing more needed to say. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And, I think I'm curious to see what Kyle Shanahan's reputation is going to be in 5 years. Because he's always going to have a sterling reputation as a coordinator and a thinker of offense. But is he going to be looked at as like another guy in the lineage of coordinators who couldn't hack it as head coaches? I wonder. Those guys are always failed for not because of their scheme, not because of their offense. It's because of stuff decision making and stuff like that.
I mean, in college defense, real quick, and some of y'all may jump on me, but in college defense, since you've been here, it's been one of two things: talented roster and injuries. You know what I'm saying? So it's never been his play calling. It's just, so
no, it won't be his play calling.
So I mean, it's kind of, it sucks, man. He got the bad hand. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So
Enrique says, I think the Niners will score 25 points or more per game this year. Question mark. Do you think that Enrique thinks that the Niners are going to score more than 25 points per game this year, or is he on the fence about it? I think he's on the fence, guys.
They should. I'm gonna say 30. They should score 30.
Yeah.
It seems like he is. I mean, if anything, the only reason they wouldn't score a ton of points is because they do run the ball so much. But I mean, they're a high-powered enough offense that if they're not at 25 points per game, they're going to be right around that area.
Look, if this offense doesn't miss layups, we putting 30, 40 points on the board every game.
I got something to say. I think their red zone offense should be much better this year. I think I think they should score more touchdowns this year. Yeah, I think that's a fair expectation. Fred shuts down Hawk. It's over. Their only weapon. Yeah, and it's not just going to be Fred covering him. Fred will cover him sometimes on first and second down, but on third down, it'll be Jimmy Ward. Yeah. Tart will get some opportunities. They'll throw a bunch of bodies at him, and yeah, the Niners.
Jimmy Ward lockdown, baby.
Yeah, it should be fine. Joel says, since there is bad energy between the Saints and Michael Thomas, we should get him for a cool price at the trade deadline. Let's face it, we got to go through Tampa Bay to get the Super Bowl anyways. I mean, I do agree that I think the Niners are a move away from really being able to say that they're Super Bowl favorites or contenders. I don't know if Michael Thomas is the move, though. What do you guys think?
That's the thing. I don't know if the 49ers need another wide receiver necessarily. I know everyone made such a big deal about it, but
he's an expensive wide receiver who's had issues and isn't super fast. I know he's been good, but he also isn't the biggest team guy. I mean, I don't know. What would he cost you?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think, the 49ers would rather go after a corner, a position where they do have serious depth issues. And they lost a game to the Dolphins last year because of how bad they were at that cornerback.
The Brian Allen experience.
Yep, exactly.
They should make a docu-series of that game. And it can be like a horror movie, you know what I mean? Brian Allen.
Why is he still in there?
Who is that guy on the field? No one knew who he was. All right.
Grant for Thomas.
Yeah.
Cap hit in 2022, 24.7, 25.3, 24.6 the next 3 years. 10 this year.
So you're telling me it's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo for Michael Thomas?
That is disgusting. Jimmy Garoppolo and Eric Armstead.
That's the first thing I thought about. It's like, what?
Juan says, we've seen all these Niners players before. We know what we have on our roster. Our only unknown is D coordinator. That is a good point. Also, Trey is a pretty big unknown. I'm curious. He's a big X factor. If he turns into the guy they think he can be in a couple of years, if he turns into that now, they can win the Super Bowl for sure.
Yeah, but this defense also doesn't have DeForest Buckner anymore. And Brandon Ayuk, if you're going to be talking about it that way, like Brandon Ayuk didn't have the quarterback play last season that warranted him having the type of season he should have had. So Ayuk's going to look a lot better.
And he still balled out.
Quarterback play. Yeah, and he still balled out. But that ball placement, I mean, last year, really, that ball placement was awful. It's some of the worst.
Listen, that Patriots reception he had, you tell. Never mind. Go ahead.
All right. Here's our last topic of the day: the captains. The Niners named their captains. I'd like to get your opinion on if anyone got snubbed and why. So starting with the offense: George Kittle, Trent Williams, Raheem Mostert, Jimmy Garoppolo. Then on defense, you got Eric Armstead, Fred Warner, Jimmy Ward. What are your thoughts? Which one do you like the best? And which one do you who got snubbed in your opinion, if anyone? Because this is really important. These are the topics and the issues that will make or break the season.
I don't know if anyone necessarily got snubbed, but I think one person who is the next guy out is Kyle Juszczyk. He's one of the longest tenured players on this team. He's been with the 49ers regime since they've come to Santa Clara with Kyle. So I think if anyone should be on this list that isn't, it's Juice. But I think the 49ers did a good job with all the guys they put out there. The one I do like the most of is Raheem Mostert. I mean, you got to love that story with Raheem Mostert. And with him potentially, maybe not being on the team in 2022 with his contract situation, you never know. So I think this is a good thing that the 49ers did by making Raheem Mostert a captain. I really like that.
Is Raheem Mostert the special teams captain? Or
no, I don't think they have a special teams captain.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he plays special teams anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering because I thought teams did special teams captains as well. So, but yeah, I agree 100%. I think they got someone at every level, essentially, a quarterback, a running back, pass catcher, an offensive lineman, defensive lineman, linebacker, and DB. And I think they picked the guy in each group that I would pick if I was coming from scratch.
I'm not gonna give my obvious answer. I've been on him like a decal all show, but I don't think nobody got snubbed per se. Now I do have a question though. Is there like supposed to be 4 on each side, or is it? You said 3 and 4, right? 4 on offense.
Yeah, they have 4 on offense and 3 on defense. So they could have theoretically had 4 on defense and 3 on offense. Right.
Okay. I would like to see maybe one more guy. You know what I'm saying on defense. Yeah. As far as Jimmy, they made Jimmy a captain just for the sake of making him a quarterback, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. So next question.
Yeah, all right. I mean, to me, I guess my one, you guys, it's a good point. Like, I feel like there should have been a spot for Jason Verrett, but not at the expense of Jimmy Ward. I think if you're picking one DB, then Ward should be it. But Verrett has got all the makings of a captain. I'm glad that they took away Mike Mcglinchey's captainship after 1 year. That didn't go well for him. It just shows you that these things mean something. I mean, it set the wrong tone for him, and now he's back to just focusing on himself and not the whole team. That's good. But one more guy, like Eric Armstead, he's the guy on the D line. I mean, I get it. He's like the senior member, and he's like the highest paid player. Still, though, I don't know.
He's versatile.
Yeah. I mean, it would be Buckner, but he's not here, and they kept him instead of Buckner. So I guess that's why. But honestly, shouldn't it be Bosa? No, shouldn't it be Bosa? It should be Bosa, right? So why is it not Bosa?
I would love to see that. Exactly. Get out of my head, Charles. That's exactly what I was thinking, right?
I guess of like the Mike Mcglinchey award of the player who's not good enough to be a captain this year, to me would be Armstead. Like, you're not bad, you're a good player. But Mostert, Williams, Kittle, I mean, also Jimmy. But Jimmy, I mean, the quarterback gets it by default. Armstead would be the one. But he's better than Mcglinchey. I'll give him that. But he gets the Mcglinchey award this year. Anyway, Yuscheck there should have been a spot for Yuscheck. Everyone should be a captain. That's what I think. Everyone should be a captain.
Hey, I want to say though, speaking of Juice, I know they call him Juice, but due to in that quarterback play so far, he has been more like Tampico. So now with in the passing game, I mean, he's a hell of a blocker. But with a better quarterback play, I'm telling you, he gonna read 100% grade A Juice.
Hey,
so
Juice might be the only one who can catch Trey Lance's passes. Juice got some good hand-eye coordination.
Hey, Juice is a threat in the passing game with a competent quarterback.
I
said it.
Yeah. Hey, Compa V is coming to you, Mav. He says, at Mav, your Ducks just got quacked by and got lucky. Go Dogs.
I don't know what dogs. He's talking about Fresno State, Washington. There's too many dogs. Get a unique mascot.
Yeah, in your face. The only mascot that's like more generic than the Dogs is the Wildcats. That's the worst mascot. The Wildcats do better. Okay, that's our show, everyone. This is a great roundtable. It's been like a month or more, but we'll be back to doing Wednesdays at 5:30. This was a great crew today, Kev. You killed it, man. Naturally,
I loved it, man. Hey, man, appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks for coming on, Ben. Great job, Maverick. Great job as always. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching and for donating. I'll be back in an hour for the late show, 49ers After Dark.